cryptocurrency, blockchain, and NFTs kind of came on the scene. It was something that I felt like I wanted to learn about. I love the part do data, data analysts and work. And I shouldn't say work, but I like to read a lot. So I do a lot of research and analytics. And so when I'm reading, I just crypto is the natural progression and blockchain is natural to these things. This is like where we are. We're in this digital age. We're in this digital environment. And so we really need to, pay attention to what's going on. So I just delve into it and started doing a lot of research about it. With W2I, that's a partnership that I'm involved with Evolve in. I provide research analysis for private investment groups, and they
Mhm.
decide what it is that they want to invest in. And blockchain is pretty popular right now. So with my art being a painter, I felt like I didn't necessarily want to start selling my art anymore. It was a way with NFTs, it was a way for me to keep my art, my original pieces, but still share the prints and the patterns with other people. So
Mhm.
for me, that's how I found a way to utilize NFTs in my space, like personally for me.
Mhm. Which is an interesting concept because most people create a piece of artwork and they put it out there to sell and it's gone, and they may have some photos that they took of it, or it's a digital record, but the original physical piece of artwork is gone. In your case, you're keeping the physical piece of artwork and you're pushing out the digital forms of it for other people to enjoy while retaining the natural original piece.
Right. I like the way sometimes the patterns, like on this bag, this particular bag here, I like the way some of the patterns look on pieces. So I was able to create some home decor and sent some gifts for the holidays to family members. And I thought, well, this is really, really good. This is what I can do in addition to my paintings. I have real tangible products that are unlockable content with my NFTs. And so, and then you're also investing in the Ethereum currency. So I just feel like there's so many ways to utilize it, and that's what I feel worked for me.
Absolutely. And for those of you that are interested, if you afterwards want to take a look and the back wall, you have a chart up there. And that is kind of the process that you can go through if you are interested in getting home decor pieces done by Mami Nature. So is artwork that you choose from, and then you choose the actual product that you would like, whether it's, she does some tote bags, there's some pillows that you can have, different artwork that she can have transformed into usable items. So not only can you buy a beautiful piece of artwork that you can display, but you can buy items as well that you can utilize around your home. And it's a nice way to kind of tie things together. Imagine having a piece of artwork up on your wall and having matching pillows on your couch. So someone comes in and it's like, wow, look how coordinated you are. What a great idea.
Right.
So,
I
kind of leading
definitely.
off of that, you are branching out into a gaming project in which your artwork has been turned into fashion pieces. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, right. I'm really excited about it. So, okay, back up to prior to me painting, when I said I've always been a creative, I was doing fashion styling, been a wardrobe consultant, a personal shopper. So I was in the fashion business for a while. And I had private clients that I would do personal shopping and wardrobe consultations for. So for me now to take my art and have digital fashion, I'm so excited about it. I don't, I'm learning so much about the space every day. I'm learning about meta fashion, digital fashion, whatever it's called, metahuman. And I've partnered with a game developer, and we have a game that is coming. It's in the works. These things take a number of years, but one of my painting and is featured in the game. And then they've also picked up other pieces of my art to be utilized in a game that's coming. So that's another thing that I'm so excited. Where's the painting?
Right
It's
up
over
there on the
here.
wall
Yeah,
on the
there's
side.
the
So, you
gaming
see the picture of the
avatars.
artwork and the clothing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And to see them move and they're on boots and hats and things in the game. It's just I'm really, really that's one of the projects I'm really excited about. And I think for someone to take my art and see something in that that inspires them to create, that was something very powerful for me to be able to experience.
It's amazing. I mean, it's really funny too because like in an interesting way, like I mean, look at a piece of artwork and you think of a piece of artwork as something flat. You know,
Right.
it's something either framed on a wall or whatever. But now to watch it actually be bent into something that's usable and tangible is pretty interesting.
I would like to learn more about this the state. That's something as a research person, I do have, these facets of my personality where I want to read and learn more about it. I'm not exactly sure how they go about doing it, but to see that it move, that's so cool. A lot of the
Absolutely.
NFT art that I see is digitized and it's fractals, and I think that's amazing too. I have tangible pieces of art, so when you see my art and I can create some type of digital fabrication that's embedded in the art, that's exciting for me.
Absolutely. I mean, it's incredible to see from an outside standpoint. I can't imagine how you must feel seeing your own stuff being out there like that. It's great. So
Thank you.
let's talk about, you know, your artwork availability to be utilized within VR. I mean, so you're creating this stuff. We have lots of world builders out there, and some obviously once a world is built, it needs decoration. So, you know, your artwork is that, you know, people in here who are building worlds, could they buy pieces of your artwork to decorate those worlds?
Actually, some world builders, and I would love to connect with anyone who is a world builder or creative who wants art, great, open to collaborations because I would like to have more, you know, projects that I have going on now are these are long-term things, and I'm definitely about creating a longer term friendship, connection, collaboration, not just something that's just one time.
Mhm.
And so to invest in that, to invest in some type of creative together, I'm always open to that. I think it's really important that we do that. There are very, very powerful creative people in the world and more specifically in this space. So if anyone is open, I'm definitely interested, and I have a collaboration coming with another collaboration, a designing some holiday collection and some other I guess fashion pieces that we're starting to design. So you'll be able to invest in those as well. Those will be NFT based, and we can do custom designs, or you'll be able to have some things that are not necessarily customized.
Amazing. So let's talk about, in addition to all that you're doing in here and with your NFTs and your artwork, you've talked to me when we had our conversation about your community engagement and your work with like agriculture. A little bit of that.
Sure. That's when I say the seventh generation philosophy, I feel that we have to be responsible. Friends, Kimmy, me, she sent me a article about the environmental impact of NFTs. And it was something that I wanted to go down and do some more research on and find out more about that. I have been asked that question before and I had limited knowledge, and I've done some more, and I still don't feel like I'm an expert in anything. So I was glad that she shared that. So I guess to offset some of the impact that the NFTs have on the environment, one of my initiatives is a community garden estates. And I partner with individuals, communities, cities, even other governments that are international that are involved with creating sustainable garden communities where people can choose their lot of land and they choose how many acres they want, and they have a community farm that they farm, and they have food and resources that they're available to share, and it's collective work and opportunities that they have together as a community. And that's really what Mommy Nature and what it is that I'm about. very important on and onus on me to do these things. So art and painting and NFTs, that's really secondary to the
Mhm.
community farm to table initiatives. Um, and there's something that can be replicated any community by any number of people. We have some communities that have 200 um, properties, and then there's some communities that have 12, and
Mhm.
everyone is able to define what it is that they feel is community for themselves. We just help them implement that with different types of agriculture. We have projects, um, wind, geo projects, those projects that help to offset the gas fees that we're all using in technology. Like,
Mhm.
I'm on both sides of the fence. I'm embracing this technology and I'm using it, and I'm in my headset and I'm learning about meta fashion and things. And then I'm also, literally digging in the dirt and trying to help people come up with solutions to, for water and things like that. So I'm just trying to stay on both sides of
Well,
it.
I think with everything in life, it's about balance. And, this is very similar. What you're describing is very similar to all of us who are in business, that obviously you need electricity to get through, the day to do business. But a lot of us invest in wind offset in order to help, counter the detriment. We're doing stuff to give back and try to fix that. So, I mean, this is a way that you're offsetting, like you said, the gas fees and the things, not the fees, but the usage. And so you're offsetting it by giving back in a different way.
Right.
It's commendable.
And I did learn about there are other cryptocurrencies that are available and platforms that you can use to mint your products on that do mitigate and lower the
Mhm.
electricity usage. So I have found out about that. Looking more of that going forward, so that so much of the minting doesn't use so much power. And so Ethereum, I believe, is coming out with like 2.0, and so that will be
2.0.
something,
Mhm.
yeah, that will help with those types of things. And people, I think that it's important for people as a community to, be aware of these things and to share this information. I really appreciate her for sharing that with me, because it wasn't something that I had thought about at all. So it's
Definitely.
really good for us
That,
to share
and
this
you're right. There
information.
are a lot of programs out there now that are actually adopting a lower gas usage in order to, make it more
Right.
environmentally friendly and less impactful.
Right. And they may not be as popular, but I'm not, that's okay for me. I'm not really, popularity is not really my mission. So it's fine.
So the pieces that you do have that are minted already, are you on OpenSea? Are you anywhere else? Where is your artwork right now?
So I do have majority of my art. I have a couple of collections on OpenSea. I have about 18 to 20 NFTs on OpenSea. I have used rare as of art on Rarible and SoulSea. I've tried SoulSea. I figured, let me just try different ones to see how it goes, and which
Mhm.
ones I like the best, which ones are more popular. So I do have Ethereum, and I have Solana based,
Mhm.
and I'm looking into. I think Tezos is the one that has less electric fees and things. So I'll see what that's about. We'll check it out and see.
Okay. Do you find using the different platforms, for anybody out in there in the audience kind of wondering, the differences between, do you find that the process is very similar, even if the maybe some of them are more popular than others, but is it similar for anybody who's looking to switch to something more, conservative?
Not for me. It's really no. Evolvin is amazing. He's a coach. He helps me with all of this. So I don't find it to be, I'm not going to say it's not easy, but they're different. And sometimes even the verbiage, I'm a stickler for vocabulary. So if something says, for instance, I was creating a collaboration yesterday, and the word was collection and creators, and I'm like, okay, so am I a creator of this one? To me, yes, I'm the creator, but according to the site, no, I wasn't the creator. The creator is someone else. So I just think that it just it's cumbersome, and you really have to be very focused and detail oriented when you're doing these things. And Jerome, when I first started going to Crypto Mondays, I love the way Jerome is like fast talks. And, I'm used to that from being floor. I like the that, but then I remember one time he said burn it, and I like finally got to the point. I've been doing this for months, and now I'm like, okay, I got to burn something. I got to get rid of it. I remember Jerome said something about this, and I minted something, and I goofed up, and now I got to figure out how to get rid of it. So good luck. If you need go, watch some tutorials, take your time with it. Once you do it, it becomes easier, but you you know, just have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Of course, yes.
I
And
can't recommend
like
anyone.
anything, do your homework,
Yeah.
talk to people who have done it, get some guidance. You know, as much as you can look at YouTube and everything else, it's not going to be a quick, simple, oh, this is how you
Mm,
do it, and I'm on my way. Really need to pay
right.
attention to each program individually.
Right, you do.
So, what other types of projects do you have coming up, either in the artwork or more with gaming stuff? What's on the horizon for Mommy Nature?
Okay, I have a really super dope environmental project that I've did a proposal for. It's in Florida, and that's pretty much all I can say about it right now. I've collaborating with a sculptor who's going to be bringing some amazing an exhibition there, and it's kind of to speak about what I was saying, the global impact that we have on the use of plastic. That's as far as I can talk about it. And so it's coming up. And the gaming design, that's something that I'm really inspired by to learn more about gaming. This is actually my first foray into gaming, if this is even gaming, this Oculus and this thing here. And Pac-Man back in the day, stuff like that. That even counts, but I'm dating myself. But
Ah.
so yeah, those two projects I'm really passionate about, and I'm excited. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think as far I do paint when I'm inspired. I don't ever have a day where I go and paint. It's raining, it's stormy, and I feel like, okay, let me go and do some painting. When I do paint, I'll paint like 5 or 6 pieces at a time. I try to use, I'm inspired with the same colors that I may start with like a blue and then just continue on that path. So I did get some more canvases, and I'll probably do some more painting, and also getting into the sculpture work, and that I spoke about. The sculptor that I partnered with is going to teach me some techniques that I can use. So we'll see what happens. And
Love it. Okay, so let me ask you this. If there are people in here who want to get in touch with you, what is the best way? Should they go through your Instagram? Should they meet you on Twitter? Or should they come and try to find you in here to have a conversation? What's your preferred method of someone contacting you? And if they're looking to order from you, should they get that information from online? Or is it best to come and maybe have a consult with you to kind of learn what's the possibilities available to them?
I think if you want to order something, it's probably good to have a consult with me. You can shoot me a message here on AltSpace. I check my messages in here, or Twitter, Instagram. That's fine. You could go to the website that's on the art cards there. There's also a QR code you can use. So however you feel best. I'm on Discord as well. I, I'm just keeping up with it. I'm getting TikTok and all this stuff. I have a little social media going on here and there, but however it is fine for you, it's fine for me to connect with. As far as products that are delivered to your home, come directly from website. You can order any type of home decor, t-shirt, a notebook, a mug, and that type of thing. When you invest in the NFT, that you'll also get a merch code for the unlockable content. So you'll have the Ethereum as well. So that's always an added bonus to have yourself invested in, the Ethereum. And if you don't know how to, open a wallet or your crypto wallet, let me know. Consultation myself. Even he's really good at that. He's really patient with helping people and it has a way of explaining that people really understand. So those are the best ways I think to do it. And if you have, if you're inspired by any of the art, you want to co-create, I'm really into that. We're all here to do those things together, and I'm really, that's something that um I find it's more powerful when you have other people that are co-creating with you.
Collaboration is
Doing
always
it
a
by
good
yourself.
thing.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we're going to open up the audience to ask questions of you. Before that, I'd like to ask you all to please rate the event. And also, if you have missed any of our episodes or you'd like to see this episode again, remember that we have our YouTube channel that you can go on. If you DM me on our Instagram, I can send you the link for it. You can watch previous episodes. You can rewatch this episode. I know we've referred to Evolvin' a couple of times tonight. His episode was a couple of weeks ago, and he did talk a lot about investments in NFTs. So if you're still interested in learning a little bit more about that, you can also check that out on our YouTube channel. Over here, we have a little sign showing you that if you DM us, you can receive a free POAP NFT. Those will go out tomorrow to everybody who signs up for it. It only goes to the first 10 people, so please get it in soon if you want to receive one. And let's, Blue, if you can open up. Oh, there we go. The raise hand feature is available. So if anybody has any questions, please raise your hand and you can ask a question of Mami Nature.
We have a question from Meta Day. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I have a question. I heard you mention about doing fashion in this space. My question is, well, with this past March, there was a Metaverse Fashion Week. Um, if you had an opportunity to do a piece of artwork or to design a piece of article, design an article of clothing, who would be your dream house as far as the design house, and what would be your dream article of clothing would you design?
Oh, that's a really good question. I did go to the Metaverse Fashion Week thanks to Boxman here in the front. He told me about it. I went there to try to get a POAP, and it was pretty cool. So I did go to Decentraland for that, and
Mm-hmm.
it was really, really exciting. So, fashion house has to be Coco Chanel. She's always been one of my favorites. And so, what would I design? Yeah, I guess a purse, a Coco Chanel bag. That's kind of iconic. People would recognize that, and to have a print, one of my prints on a Coco Chanel bag, that would be really dope.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
We have a question from Evolvin'. Go ahead, Evolvin'.
Well, I mean, Nature, it's always good to see you doing your thing. I'm probably your biggest fan at this point. But I did want to answer to, I don't know if you wanted to talk much about it. I know you're doing a digital fashion project. And one of the things I think that a lot of people don't know, and I talk about this kind of stuff all the time, that if you go back to like 2015, maybe about 48% of the mobile app earnings were from, and global sales were from in-app purchases. And if fast forward to around 2017, it was more like $50 billion that was spent on in-app purchases. 2019, it was, almost, three quarters more. And between, I think, January and October in 2020, was over $96 billion spent on in-app purchases, and this year it's expected to go over 100 billion. And so, I know a lot of us in here are purchasing whether it's worlds from creators or outfits from creators. um, Me as an investor, you guys, whenever you hear me talk, I'm always kind of talking from that perspective, and so I think it's really powerful that I know that Mommy Nature and I are getting involved in some projects that are. I'm always talking about diversity and equity and inclusion, and I know we really didn't talk much about this digital fashion project that you have, but Mommy Nature actually has a project now where not only like it's okay if you want to spend $5,000 on digital clothing this year, but how much of that $100 billion are you actually getting yourself if you're not an investor? And so I think that's the powerful thing about digital fashion NFTs. You not only have the opportunity to purchase clothing or even world, like we all have, like I've supported all the Patreons for Artsy and King and Bubangas and the clothing from Ryu. But to have the opportunity to actually get some of that back as an investor, I think that's really powerful. So I didn't know if you wanted to speak more about that or if I probably said enough.
Sure. No, I guess I just kind of glossed over it, but that is the thing. I mean, when you purchase the NFT, I don't know if people understand. That's what I was saying. Like when you purchase the NFT, you are invested in the Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency. In addition, you'll be able to access unlockable content that would potentially include either something that you can have a tangible product that can be shipped to your home, or you can have a digital rendering of that item, either in outfit or athleisure, a ball gown, or that type of thing. So those will be created, customized, and there are only limited edition items available for satisfaction. I hope that makes sense. On the back wall, the Artique, that's a word that I kind of made up, or maybe I didn't. I don't know, but it's art and boutique together, and that's the world code. Where you could go there, and I'll have consultations there. And if you want to save that world and favorite it, or meet me there, send a message and let me know when you're available. I'll do a consultation one-on-one. I can explain further if you're interested in any type of digital fashion at all. You like one of the paintings that's on the back wall, and you would like of clothing made out of that print, let me know. I'm able to have that created for you. And you just go to the NFT, invest in the NFT, and you'll be able to have unlockable content.
Do we have any other questions from the audience?
Harry's got his hand up.
Yeah, we have a question from Be Wonderful. Go ahead, Be Wonderful.
Hi. I don't know if you mentioned I maybe been a little late, but I wanted to know, do you have of these pieces that are showing, do you have a favorite piece, and why, if so, why? Did you answer that or ask that already?
I don't really have a favorite piece. It kind of changes. Like I was telling City Girl, like sometimes I look at it and I don't necessarily like it as much as I did when I created it, or then other days I really I'm moody like that, so not necessarily no. And but I are being used in on a bag or on an article of clothing, I do find that I like it. I wouldn't say more, but I can appreciate it differently because someone else has as well, if that makes sense. So when a person goes to invest in my art and they invest in my NFT, and then they like it and they tell me something about it that they like or something that inspired them, that's what really would make me like it or look at it differently. I would go to museums all the time, and I've been a member of several museums, and I love looking at art. I could spend all hours and hours in museums, especially in hot cities. Here's a life hack: get a museum membership, and go spend the day in there. It's nice and air conditioned, and you can walk around. So if you're live in a hot place, it's really fun. But for me, so if I look at a piece of art and I'm inspired by it, someone else looks at it and they're inspired by it and they point something out, that's really cool for me. I like that.
Hmm. Thank you.
Uh, Jerry's trying to ask a question, but I think you need to use the raise hand feature on the bottom right.
Yeah. You need
It
to
doesn't
click
work for him. Okay. He says it's not
Let's see.
working.
That happened last
But
time.
let me see if I can give you.
Funny.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't see him on the list either.
I see him, but right, let me. Trying to give you a megaphone. You'll have to accept it.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have the raise hand feature for some reason. It might be the spot I'm sitting in. I have no idea. How's it going, Mommy Nature?
Howdy.
Howdy. One of the pieces I can definitely understand, like, looking at this piece over here now, is it actually like more like is it how like you have the is it more like is the paint coming like I don't want to say paint, but the fabric, is it coming off of like what I mean? Is it just a picture or is it like the fabric actually coming like lifting off of the bag? You know what I mean? Like you can
That is actually that I have. And so the painting is printed on that particular bag. I just wanted to give people an example of what they look like when they're replicated.
well look.
Right. They're really small, so it's hard to see what it would look like on a notebook or a duvet or, you know, a- so that's just an example. One painting, it's called Lavender Falls, and that I did with a technique that I used was like a knife, and so it's, it's purposely it looks like that. It's just a smaller version printed on the bag.
Got you. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not even, I'm not a lady or anything like that, obviously, but I love the bag. I can see that like on hats, women hats, shoes, like, high heel shoes. It's just, it's a beautiful, your art is beautiful. So, I mean, it's alive. And so, yeah, I'm glad you haven't limited yourself to it. You transfer that art to, other canvases, and I hope you I'm sure you're going to do well in it. So I'm just saying, even as a guy, that's inspiring, so keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thanks for saying that.
Absolutely.
Are there any other questions from the audience? Well, I want to thank you for coming on to the show tonight and for telling us all about your projects. Love the fact that you're kind of incorporating sustainability into NFTs, which is great. And, we look forward to seeing this project that you're going to be doing down in Florida. I look forward to hearing more about this as it happens. And
Absolutely.
also to hopefully get to see, your artwork transformed into the gaming platforms. That's going to be interesting. So we might have to do a follow-up episode, maybe a year from now to hear with the project, what the progress is on that. It would be very interesting to see where it is at that point.
Oh, that'll be really cool. I'd love that. You guys definitely know about it. For sure. I'll make sure to tell everyone.
Well, I
And if
want
you
to
have
thank
any
everyone.
ideas for me, let me know.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
want to thank everyone for coming tonight. And if you'd like to ask, Mommy, any other questions, you come up and talk to her after the show, or like she said, visit her in her world. The world code's up the back. Take a picture with your camera so that you have it in your roll, so that you can go back and look at it later. And if any of these things you want to take pictures of, so you'll have her contact information, feel free. And if we can get everyone to come up on the stage, we'll take our group shot. And don't forget to come back next Tuesday, where we're going to have Nathan on, and he's going to be talking about his new NFT projects that he has coming up. So everyone, come on up here on stage and let's get a group photo. We'll get you here in the middle.